right, guys, that's enough of that timer. I don't need the whole thing. Anyways, welcome back. This is the Carnivore Roundtable. My name is John. Wow, I'm getting the back feed here. Hold on a second. Oh, my bad. Left the window open. Okay, let's try this again. This is John, Carnivore Roundtable. We're here today. We got some great guests on. Anyways, we're missing John. He is probably running a little late, but we'll see where he's at on it. But anyways, let's get going here. All right. Kat, how are you doing today?
I'm good. Great to be here talking about that winter weight gain. Because, I'll be storing that. I'll be storing that for later.
I used to blame it on the holidays, but I've been stalled out here since right before Thanksgiving. So anyways, it's a good conversation to have today. And it was actually John that brought it up, as a conversation. So I hope he makes it here today. Oh, there he is. Late. Oh, there we go. You're all right, bud?
I'm good. How you doing?
All right. Welcome to the group. Let me go through the list here. Cory, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing real good. Good to be here.
Good. Outstanding. All right, John, I take it you're mobile with your brand new truck. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Don't have the truck yet, but I thought I would do something special for this Carnivore Roundtable. I don't know if you can see behind me. Did anybody recognize that?
Lambeau Stadium.
Lambeau Stadium.
Yeah. I'm actually sitting in the parking lot of Lambeau, so I thought it would be kind of cool for this roundtable.
Cool. Well, we appreciate you being here, bud. We're getting a few people piling in onto the stream here. We'll keep going around. Brent, how are you doing today, sir? How's the meat locker?
Oh, the meat locker's good. Doing fine here. Actually, this week I lost 3 pounds. I don't know how it happened, but it happened, so I'll take it. It's a win.
Cool.
It's a win.
All right, let's see what we got. We got John here. Good afternoon.
Yep.
Let's see, Richard from Copper Hill. How are you doing, sir? I'm getting a little scratchy here in my voice, so I may not be doing a lot of talking today. My voice keeps going with this cold I got. Let's see here, and then I see Callie's in here. Hey, Callie, how you doing? All right, guys. So what we're gonna talk about today is, where we're at, where we're, we've all been on the diet for different amount of times, and winter weight. John brought this conversation up. Talked to me about it, or actually posted it in a video, and I was listening to it, and I was like, that's not a bad idea. Let's talk about winter weight. So, John, since you were the one kind of spearheaded this idea, you want to start on this conversation, sir?
Yeah, I will. If you'll indulge me for about 5 minutes, I'll give you the clinical research that I did, and it kind of makes sense if you think about it. So just bear with me for a few minutes. So all species, plants and animals, as we know, want to survive, right? No species wants to go extinct. So in order for our species to survive, we have to have men and women, right? The male produces one part, the woman produces another part. So and any guy that knows this, and we're all adults, but I'll be clinical. Any guy, and probably most women know this, if a guy goes in really cold water, right, or a really cold swimming pool, or you're outside and it's really cold, your testicles, which are the part that we contribute to the species, what happens to them? They get closer to your core, right? They kind of drop closer to you.
Tighter.
Yeah, they get a little tighter, and they can actually ascend up into your pelvic cavity like they did when you were a baby, because they're trying to stay at 98.6 degrees or as close to it as they can. Of course, when it's hot and muggy and humid, and when when it's 100 degrees outside and 90% humidity, they do the opposite. They descend. They get away from your core to try to stay at that 98.6 degree temperature. All right. It's much easier for your body to maintain 98.6 degrees when it's 100 degrees outside. You don't need as much energy. If I lay on the couch all day and don't move a single muscle, I just veg watching Carnivore Backwoods on YouTube all day on the couch, and I don't move at all, I burn about 1,900 calories. Why? Why am I burning 1,900 calories and I'm not moving at all? Because in order for your body to maintain 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit, I don't know what the Celsius is, 30 something Celsius, but 98.6 Fahrenheit, your body burns calories, right? To generate heat to keep all your systems at that pretty close to 98.6. And that's true no matter what part of the world you live in, where you're trying to maintain this 98.6. So your body is not going to voluntarily give up calories or energy in the wintertime. It knows instinctively because of 100,000 years or whatever, millions of years. It knows that in the cold, calories are less available, or we'll say energy is less available, and it's going to use more energy to keep your core temperature at 98.6. So it makes no sense from a logical standpoint for you to really lose weight or lose fat going into the coldest part of the year from an anthropological standpoint. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Sure.
Makes sense.
Keeping with the polar bears, I'm storing all of my fats for the winter.
Yeah, it's a
You're ready to
survival
hibernate for the
mechanism,
winter?
so.
I'm ready to hibernate.
Okay.
And I think women, they have to maintain their body heat as well. And if a woman is breastfeeding a child or carrying a child, which, we didn't have formula 10,000, 20,000 years ago. So a woman has to hold on to those calories so that she can survive and so that her infant or her baby can survive. So there's no reason for a female to give up excess body fat or excess energy in the coldest part of the year from an anthropological standpoint. That has to be the reason we're having such a tough time in the winter losing weight.
Cool. Outstanding. All right. So here's a question for the chat. Have you found that your weight loss has slowed down, here as the cold weather has moved in? Put a comment over in the chat. We'll be looking forward. But I'm just curious because I know mine has, and I'm definitely not off diet, but I definitely have found a stall that I've been trying to work my way through. Cory, what's your thoughts?
Well, I have definitely noticed it. We got back from a cruise in November and didn't do the best sticking to plan on the cruise. Came back with a little bit heavier than I was when I went on the cruise. So back
It was
on
worth
plan,
it.
got back to my pre-cruise weight, but then it stalled. So I've been basically sitting at the same weight within 2 pounds for probably about 3 weeks, about since Thanksgiving.
Wow. What about you, Brent?
Yeah, I've been pretty well stalled out most of the fall. Just kind of hovering in that 240 to 242 range. And just here recently, I've been, after our discussion last week where we had Carnivore Cure on, and he was talking about, prepping for fasting and nourishment and everything. I kind of went down that rabbit hole a little bit. And this week I started eating 3 meals a day and I lost 3 pounds. So I'm not really sure what's going on with that, but I haven't been eating as much at a time, but I've been eating 3 meals, just trying something different. And I don't know if it's just a fluke or what, but
Sometimes you have to feed your body to lose weight.
Yeah, and Kelly Hogan did a video recently about that on her channel. And if you're a fan of her page, it was a kind of a really great video about either are you under eating or are you overeating, and how to recognize either one of those so you can effectively make changes. So I'm kind of messing around with that a little bit.
Cool. All right. What about you, Kat?
Well, I think it's funny that he said that, because since prior to Thanksgiving, I haven't lost any weight at all. But I do know that my body composition had changed because I have been able to wear clothes that, are much smaller than what I used to. But interestingly, I naturally do 1 meal a day, and that's not because I'm wanting to fast. I just eat when I'm hungry. But for the last probably week, I've had this constant I don't know, like very mild nausea, but it's very, very mild. It's almost like not-existent, but it's there. So I was thinking, maybe I need more electrolytes or something, or maybe I caught a stomach bug because I'm with my grandbaby a lot. But I've also been waking up in the morning feeling hungry, which is weird because I'm never hungry in the morning. So I've been doing breakfast in the mornings, and I got on the scale this morning out of just random, and I lost almost 2 pounds for no reason. I'm eating 2 meals a day right now with this weird, like I said, I didn't know if this nauseous feeling was because I'm hungry or what it is, but I don't know. Maybe I need to start for the winter. Maybe my body, because I moved to Colorado. I wish I could tell you that living in a hot state was helping me lose weight, but I was huge in Texas. But maybe my body, since being here in the cold state, has decided that I need to eat twice. And once I did, I finally dropped. It's not a lot, but I mean, it's almost 2 pounds. Yeah, it's almost 2 pounds I dropped in just a few days from putting 2 meals a day in there. So I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on, but it is weird.
Yeah, I got down to 265, and then I immediately shot back up to 280, and I have been struggling between 280 and 274 for basically the last 70, maybe 80 days. Yeah, about that, actually about 2 months. Yeah. So, it's been up and down. So like this morning, I'm on day 2 of a 48-hour fast. We'll eat tonight. I'm down to 274 this morning. So I mean, I'm moving a little bit, but yeah, it's definitely been up and down. But on the same token, like you said, clothes fit differently. The body composition is definitely changing. I'm still gaining holes on my belt. So there's things still changing, but I'm still locked up at weight. So I think anybody that's dealing with it, might find the same things going on with them. They might be struggling right now, and it's just simply winter weight. The body is designed to keep us functioning, and doesn't want us to get too skinny if it thinks we need the energy. Let's
I
see
wonder if
here.
there's a correlation to it for the reduced amount of sunshine. You know how people have that seasonal affective disorder. I wonder if it is maybe somehow correlated to that. I'll have to do some research into that because it's people, the SAD, they have those issues as well in the wintertime.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, the changing of the clock, the time change, the days getting shorter, I'm sure has a direct effect on your body. Just like it has a direct effect on everything else. I mean, right down from the chickens I raise, cattle, they all know when winter is based by the amount of sunlight they're getting every day.
Yeah, because chickens actually go back, stop laying, or almost. I mean, ours did in the wintertime because there was less sun. And you could, of course, force them to lay more by artificially putting the sun in there. But I mean, even chickens are doing it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
We've got
yeah,
chickens
absolutely.
as well. And when I've got the light going in their coop, they lay more. So
Yeah.
Artificial light, and us humans live with a ton of artificial light that's constantly screwing with us. All right, so Callie says she's going to move to Arizona.
Well, living in Texas didn't help me. So in Texas is like next to the sun. So I don't know.
John says if your body thinks it's being started, it'll back off the throttle to preserve itself. Absolutely, I agree.
Yeah.
Oh, we got Christy in the house. Hey, Christy, how you doing?
Yeah, Dr. Fung talks about that, where the body will throttle back. So if you're not eating enough, your body will actually slow its metabolism, because if you need, like John said, if you need that 1900 or 2000 calories just to breathe in and out and maintain your body temperature, and you're eating less than that, your body's not stupid. It will actually slow your metabolism to where it's getting enough, where it has enough to use. And then eventually you'll get to the point, if you undereat enough, you'll get so hungry, you'll basically force yourself. Your body will force you to eat more. And that's why these exercise plans we've been told to do for decades, where you eat less, exercise more. It works for a couple weeks. Your body makes that adjustment. You get super hungry, and then you gain all your weight back. So
it also explains why when you do those exercise plans and you're starving yourself, when you have a splurge day, your body suddenly drops a ton of weight. Because that's what, when I was doing the exercise and counting calories, I'd pick a day of the week and I would eat extra, and then the next day I'd lose 10 pounds scale, and it was literally that much. That explains why your body's like, okay, we'll release it now.
yeah.
Let's see here. All right, guys, looking for questions. If you got any questions, make sure you put a Q in there in front of them. We're going to have discussion there. Probably around, talk about some other stuff while we're here. John, you got anything else you want to throw in there?
Yeah, talking about the move more, eat less. I did that about 5 years ago, and I actually dropped 100 pounds in 4 months. And I was starving myself. And it may have been longer ago. I was a huge fan of that show, The Biggest Loser. We probably all watched it at some point in time to see those miraculous things.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I did a little research recently, and some group picked 6, I think it was 6 or maybe 10 of the contestants from one particular season. And, it's pretty easy to measure your metabolism. Something called VO2 max. People run on the treadmills or do the exercise bike, and they got that big mask on their face with the tubes going from it. It measures the amount of carbon dioxide that you're exhaling. The byproduct of metabolism is carbon dioxide. That is human exhaust, carbon dioxide. So if you measure the CO2 in our exhaled breath, you can see how many calories we're burning. So they took this group of contestants from the show The Biggest Loser, and it didn't specify who they were or what place they got. But 6 years after the show, their metabolism still hadn't got back to normal. They went back 4 years later and found as many as they could find. And 10 years after being on the show, their metabolism still wasn't what it was before they went on the show. It really wrecked their metabolism for at least a decade. So people like myself and John, or anybody else that's done the whole, starve yourself to lose weight, there's no telling how long it could take your body to rebalance from that. I mean, these people are 10 years post show and their metabolism still hasn't caught up to where it should be. That's how damaging the whole eat less, move more movement is to us. It's terrible.
One of the winners of that show died. I'll have to look that up. One of the winners of that, that lost all that weight, he ended up dying because some health issues. So I don't remember all the details to it, but I do remember that went back when I was watching that. One of those guys that got off there died shortly afterwards. I'll have to look that up here in a minute, see if I can find it. We got a question here. Hey, Charlotte, how are you doing today? Carnivore while recovering from surgery, healing bones. What's the best carnivore food to eat during that time? More meat or more fat while in recovery? You're going to eat a balance of fat and meat. You need the protein for muscle growth. Any type of surgery is going to affect your muscles, and then the fat's going to bring in a lot of nutrients. So you definitely need both of those. What do you guys think?
Well,
Go ahead, Cory.
I would think need both, especially because the fat has, there's so many things that fat actually needs to do in your brain, your hormones, and it's even been discussed that it helps with nerves and nerve pain, which you're probably going to have some of that after a surgery. But I'm not a doctor, so I don't know for certain, but I would think both for sure.
Yeah. Cory, what was your thoughts?
I would say I wouldn't change much at all. If anything, I would add some bone broth. Drink a lot of bone broth every day. So that's going to give you a lot of nutrients in a compact form, a lot of minerals that you really need. So, but I'm not a doctor either. That would just be my thoughts.
John, thoughts?
I think he's right. I think bone broth, because of the nutrient content of it, then you put it in a broth, it's much more bioavailable. Your body's much able to absorb it better being in a broth form than if you chewed it up and had to go through your whole digestive system. So yeah, that's fantastic advice. Bone broth. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Brett?
I would agree with the bone broth, especially if you can make your own versus store-bought. It's going to be much more nutrient dense. And you got to remember, what are your bones made of? They're made of protein. So, I would eat a protein balanced fat meal. Lots of beef. That beef is the most nutritious food that we can eat. So, I would try to have more. If you're not having a lot of beef, I would try to have more beef. And then, bone broth, either beef or chicken. Bone broth has a lot of collagen in it, which is, great for the body. And it'll definitely help you heal.
Making bone broth is super easy to do. You can do it two different ways. I prefer the slower method. You put it in a crock pot. You just, what I do is you buy rib eyes with the rib in it, and when you're done eating the rib eye and you left over with that bone, I put that in a bag and keep it in the freezer until I get a bag full of them, a gallon-sized bag full of them. Put them down in the crock pot, fill it up with some water, turn it on, and let it stew for 10 to 12 hours, and it will pull all the nutrients, all the fat, all that out of there. And then what I do is then I'll put it in a big mason jar. I got some half-gallon mason jars, and I'll let it cool, and all that fat will rise to the top, and you'll skim that off, and you can use that for cooking. That's tallow, and it leaves you with just the bone broth, which is really good. You can add a little bit of salt or something to it when you heat it up. It makes a great morning coffee. It's probably really good for me if I had some right now with this cold that I'm dealing with. I wish I actually had some, but yeah, super easy to do. Lots of good videos on YouTube. Maybe that's something we'll have to put a video out on here on our channel.
You can do it in the Instant Pot too, because I do mine in the Instant Pot, and I actually don't even separate my bones. I don't eat a lot of chicken as a rule, but I do eat lamb and beef and occasionally pork. And I throw all the bones in a bag in a freezer. I don't separate them, and then I throw them into the Instant Pot, and I do it that way with some Redmond salt and stuff. And it cooks for a long time, even for the intensive Instant Pot, and it comes out the same. It's just delicious. There's a million videos. I mean, even I have a video, and I'm just a beginner on my channel, so I think everybody pretty much has been making it and putting it out there.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
One thing I would say is, we eat a lot of eggs as carnivores. Take those eggs after you crack them, rinse them out, throw those in the bag with your bones, because you're going to have more nutrients, more minerals and such that'll leach out of those eggshells and get into that broth.
Oh, I have never thought of that. That's a really
Why not?
good idea.
I mean,
You can actually
heating
take
it down. You're just pulling the nutrients out.
With that
eggshells. Eggshells are pure calcium. You can take them and dry them out and put them in a food processor and grind them into a powder and put it in your coffee. It's pure calcium. It's the purest form of calcium a human can ingest. And of course, bone health, joint health, calcium plays a big part in that. But yeah, you can put them in your bone broth, or you can actually clean them out real good, dry them out, and then beat them into a powder and take a spoonful or two and put it in your coffee. You won't know that it's there, and it's 100% pure calcium.
The more you know.
And that little membrane inside the egg is pure collagen.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, eggs are probably the most balanced thing that you can eat for all the nutrition, everything that you possibly need is actually in an egg. I think this question's at you, John. I said, Mama Cracker said, what did they do in those 10 years?
The article that I read didn't specify, but I'm assuming they probably at some point in time go back into their old habits. So they're probably eating, they've all gained weight. They've all gained all their weight back plus, without exception. Every single one is heavier now than they were when they started the show. And it makes perfect sense. Their metabolism is worse now than it was before they went on the show. But it didn't break down what their activity level was or what their diet was. It just said they tested them doing the VO2 max. They measured their metabolism, which is really, really easy to do. And 10 years out, they're worse off than had they never gone on the show.
That's why you never see Biggest Loser reunion shows.
Yeah,
because they've destroyed their metabolism.
Which I always thought would be a great idea if you had, the money for like a carnivore or a keto channel to do like a Biggest Loser reunion, and then you put them on keto or carnivore, and you do a Biggest Loser that way. Just thought it'd be an interesting show, but it may not be as entertaining as watching fat people run on a treadmill. So
sweating bullets.
yeah.
Yeah. It probably wouldn't be as entertaining just people waking up eating steak every day and losing weight. That's not
Right.
that's not very exciting. And I went to bed last night. I ate a pound of steak and a half a pound of bacon, and I woke up the next day weighing, a half pound lighter. Yeah, that's not the excitement they want on television.
Right.
John says television has done us a terrible disservice. I couldn't agree.
That's true.
Rich here answered my question. Poppy Kramer, comedian and Biggest Loser, season 3, at home winner. He's the one that died, and I don't remember all the details behind it. But you're wrecking your body by starving it, and you can't maintain. We've all been there. We've all tried it. We've all tried the starvation. You move more, eat less, and it doesn't work. You end up right back to where you started. Do the cycle over and over again.
And you got to remember, there's a difference between starving and fasting. There's a big difference. Starving
Absolutely.
is involuntary, and fasting's voluntary. Fasting,
yeah, and it's it's a prescribed time with a predicted outcome. You're not doing it for extended periods of time. Starvation is when you literally have no access to nutrients. Let's see here. Making your own bone broth is so easy, and it freezes too. Make a bunch pre-surgery, had it frozen, ready for your recovery. Yep, that's good advice. Let's see here. I have a history of eating extreme low calories and finally have gotten my calories around 1,500. Working on getting above 2,000, but I've been sick for a few weeks. Now I can't eat at all. Well, bone broth is a really good one if you might want to look into, because it helps you get some nutrients and helps you get some in there to help you with your cold or sickness that you're dealing with.
Hey John, can I say something on that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Our bodies don't chase calories. There's no mechanism inside the human body to measure calories. We chase nutrients. When you have a nutrient deficient diet, you overeat because your body's saying, I don't have the nutrients I need. It signals you with leptin and ghrelin, whatever the one is, that's the hunger hormone, to go and eat more because it's searching for you to get nutrients. You can have a whole lot. Like, I have no idea how many calories I eat. It's got to be close to 5,000 or 6,000 a day here lately. I don't have any idea, but I'm getting the most nutrient dense food I've ever had. And from time to time, I may go 48, 50, 55 hours without eating because I'm not hungry. But then I'll eat like a bear for a day because there's some nutrient that's in the food that my body is longing for. So calories, I know we've been trained for 50 years to count calories, but your body doesn't have any way of measuring calories. Your body measures nutrients. Get nutrient dense
calories. Calories are a man-made term.
Exactly.
Yeah. The human body.
Calories don't really mean anything.
Yeah.
What was that, Brett?
The human body is not a calorimeter.
No.
And there's a reason why the calories in, calories out method doesn't work, and that's because the human body has a metabolism. There's a third factor in there. We have hormones and we have a metabolism. And if you want to know kind of more about that, because we could do a whole show talking about that, check out Dr. Jason Fung's videos. He really breaks it down very, very well and explains it in layman's terms on how the human body processes calories and how our metabolism and our hormones affect, what our level is and what our health is. So I would highly recommend checking out his videos.
Cool. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Let's see what we got here. Come on. Why is my computer running slow? There it goes. The body heals quickly in ketosis, so I'd say make sure you're in ketosis, even if that means having to have to fast. Absolutely. That's why it's nice that I'm fasting right now, because I got this cold going on. I think it's helping me get over it quicker. I definitely feel better today than I did yesterday. Let's see.
Yeah, and a lot of people say pre-surgery, it's good to do a fast pre-surgery. you may, do some checking on that and see if it would work for you.
There are those, and I'll throw this out there. I think that the quality of my bone broth is better when I cook it in a crock pot. But that is debatable. I'm sure we can both be on both sides of that argument. But Meeting Wellness is over here beating me up for saying I like the crock pot better. But I like the quality of it. I think I get more out of it when I cook it low and slow versus hot and fast.
She's got a great video on making bone broth.
Does she?
Yeah. Real good one.
You can buy bone broth from the store. I know like Food City here sells it. You just need to look at the ingredients and make sure it's just bone broth and nothing silliness in there, because some of the bone broth has garbage added to it.
Most of it does.
You're much better off buying it yourself or making it yourself if you can. But you can buy it, but it's kind of expensive.
The good stuff is definitely stupid expensive.
Yeah.
Like Kettle and Fire, it's ridiculous what that stuff's
The
costing.
stuff with the less ingredients, the easier it is to make, is the most expensive. The stuff with 15 different ingredients that you don't want in your body, you can get that dirt cheap. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
And the question there is, can you buy bones from a butcher? In the Charlotte area, I go to a farmer's market.
Oh, I didn't read the question over. My bad.
Yeah, there's a guy there, a rancher that brings this meat there and sells it. He gives me the bones. He just gives them to me. He gives me some of the fat too. The fat trimmings, he just gives them to me.
Wow.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
You can go to a butcher and just tell him you want bones for your dog, and he'll give you all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if they do sell them, it's going to be dirt cheap.
Yeah. Send him a Christmas card this year.
Yeah. I used to get the big bones, and I'd put them in the smoker and smoke them, and then use them for making soups and stuff. Oh, absolutely.
That sounds good.
It's a good way to go. Probably improve your bone broth too if you had some smoked bones in there. Think about that. All right, I'm looking for questions, guys. If you haven't done so already, could you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button for all these channels? They're all working hard to provide you guys content. So if you give them support, that'd be awesome. I think everybody here, let's see, probably got a Cory, what's your subscriber count right now?
We are at 177 today.
All right,
Blew up
177.
last weekend.
So you're picking up. So definitely go over to Cory's channel and give him some likes, give him some subscribes, help support his channel. I posted his channel up on my Facebook page yesterday to help push some people that direction. So hopefully we'll help you get some more subscribers. John, how are you doing? What's your channel up to?
This morning I was 185, so it's doing pretty good. I'm enjoying it. If I never get monetized, that's okay. I just really enjoy putting out content, and I'm getting some pretty awesome comments from some people that follow me. And it's funny, I'll put a video out, and within like 2 minutes, I start getting comments on it. So that's kind of cool.
That's
but
awesome.
185 this morning.
My favorite is comments. When I post a video with people comment, and the interaction that I have with people is some of my favorite part of doing this. I have good conversations and chats. People reach out to me on Facebook and stuff, and those are the favorite parts of doing this. Making videos and editing and struggling to try to put some content together, it sucks. But having people reach out to you and tell their story and what's going on with them and how they've corrected their health and improved their weight loss and stuff. I love that stuff. So that's my favorite part.
That's for sure.
Another thing
Brent, how's your channel doing?
I'm at 544 subs. So
okay,
pretty happy with that. I mean,
you're plugging along.
I've just had the channel since August. So, I mean, the growth has kind of slowed in the last couple months, but, honestly, I haven't been putting out the content recently that I was at first, and I'm working to get better at that. So I'm going to have more content coming, but yeah, I'm pretty happy. I just, I'd like to get the watch hours up. But I'm getting close to where I can. I'd like to get to the monetized point, but if I don't, it's okay. Just
you're not going to get rich doing it, but at least it'll help offset some of the expenses on it.
Just want to contribute. So.
And then, Kat, I know that your channel's been moving along. Where you at?
Last I looked, I was at 2466. Again, mine was cruising very steadily up for a while, but then I moved, I got sick, and I hadn't been putting out any content. And that's the key, unfortunately. I don't do it to make money, so it's neither here nor there, I guess, for me.
But it helps get your channel out there. Once you get over 1,000 subscribers, that YouTube actually puts your channel out there to more people. So it's nice to get a bigger market.
Yeah,
to be able to reach out and get a bigger subscription base. Mine, I think I'm at 1,200. I'm half monetized, but that hasn't counted for anything. I need about 400 more hours of watch time to get up to the point where I start getting ad revenue, which, like I said, won't amount to a hill of beans, but it'll help offset some of the expense of doing this. So that's always good. All right, guys, we are 36 minutes into this. Let's go around here to see what's going on. So, Kat, what's going on in your world? What's going on with your channel? What's on your mind? What do you want to talk about?
Well, I just put out a video about budget shopping because I do most of my shopping at like Costco's and Sam's Club because I have untreatable ADHD. So I am a prolific planner. Everything I do is in books. I'm old school like that. I have to have a schedule. I have to know everything that's going on. So I already know what I'm going to eat for most of the month because I'm just like that. But I get a lot of people telling me, what if they don't have a membership to Costco or Sam's Club, they don't want to pay for that, they don't have the freezer space or that kind of money. Although to be fair, I budgeted out. It takes me a month to do it. But so I did one where you could just go to Walmart and just buy for me here in Colorado, it's under $35 a week. So I did that. I actually had just gotten my labs back. I think the last time you and I had talked, I'm getting ready to do a comparison because when I first started, my triglycerides were in the 800s. And I have my new labs back now, which look amazing. And I've only been doing it since July. So what a huge, just a boon for me. So I need to do that. I did start finally doing lives. Larry had been giving me from Carnivore Soldier grief forever saying, do your own lives. And I never wanted to because I say to this day, it amazes me that anybody even wants to hear anything that I have to say, that people come to the lives or that I don't know, it just blows my mind because I'm just a big nobody. But so I started doing lives and just started, matter of fact, Brent's going to be on this week with me. And I'm actually going to end up moving it to Sunday here coming soon by the end of December because I don't want to go over the same time that Meeting Wellness, their Lioness one is. And apparently we're both at the same time. So I'll be moving that, but I'm doing my own lives now, but I still want to be on you guys', so that's why I have to make it on a different day. And then, probably the usual what I eat in a day is people seem to like those. And I did get back into doing my measurements because you guys, I don't know if it's the same for you, but people really like to see women in their sports bras and biker shorts looking a hot mess. And for whatever reason, those are the videos that get the most traction on my channel, but people want to see it. So I'm started getting back into doing my measurement videos. And really that's just a lot of what do they call that, irons in the fire. I just have so much going on, it's hard to juggle. I don't know how people do the YouTube channels when they work full-time jobs and have families and stuff. They're just amazing robots, and I need to learn something from them. So.
Hey, John, you got some background noise in the background there. Just letting you know, I muted your mic for a minute because you were coming through.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I had to crank the car up. It's freezing up here. I've had the car turned off, so I had to crank it up, get the heat going a little bit.
Oh,
okay. Yeah, don't freeze on us while you're out there. Brett's in the meat locker, but you're in the cold.
Brett looks comfortable in there.
All right. Yeah. Where you at, John? Where you at right now?
Me, I'm at Lambeau Field. I'm sitting in the parking lot of Lambeau Field.
You're still in the parking lot of Lambeau Field. That's right. Yeah, you're in the coldest place on earth. What?
My hotel's a
All
mile
right.
down the road, so I thought I'd come up here and do this from the Lambo. That'd be kind of neat, you know.
So when do you get your truck?
I pick it up Monday.
Okay, so you're
Tomorrow,
you're
yes,
in there.
tomorrow, yeah.
You're in there till tomorrow. Okay. All right. Let's continue on here. Hey, Cory, how you doing, sir? What's going on in your world? What's on your mind? Share with us.
Well, we've got a very new channel. We started about 6-7 weeks ago. I guess it was mid-October. We only started on Carnivore in August, so this is pretty new for us. But our focus, and for those that don't know, most of the time I'm sitting here with Lori, my wife, and we're going back and forth talking about our experiences on the carnivore diet and things like that. So it's just kind of an adventure for us, and you were right, John. There's nothing I love more than to see comments come in and people, just commenting on the videos. Sometimes they ask questions, sometimes they give us positive feedback, and that really just means the world to us. Of course, we're not monetized. If we are, great, like you say, it can help offset some of the expenses. But we're doing this because we believe in what we're doing. We see the way it works, and we want to get the message out to more people. So growing the channel larger, the purpose of that is to have a wider reach and see more people. We came to this on a fluke. I'm driving down the road, see this van in front of me that's got all these stickers on it for YouTube channel, says my zero carb life. And I was like, oh, okay, what's that? And so just by someone doing something as simple as that brought us to this way of eating that's changed our health and improved our lives. So,
And that was Kelly Hogan, right?
Yeah.
You were following Kelly Hogan
the hero.
around all her bumper stickers.
I was.
So for all you guys out there, have you been interviewed by Kelly Hogan yet? Have you been on her channel or have you talked to her?
I have not. No.
I think we should all reach out and tell Kelly Hogan that she needs to reach out to Cory's channel here, and that these two need to get together and have a conversation, because she changed his life by putting a bumper sticker on her car. So if anybody is out there and happens to talk to Kelly Hogan, they should definitely plug Cory and say you need to have a conversation with him and talk. You'd be amazed how powerful this group is when they get out there and start pushing. So don't be so surprised if you get a contact. All right. Let's go down here to John. What's going on in your world? I know you're out getting a brand new Freightliner, right? Freightliner.
Yep.
We're going to hit back on the open road. What else is going on in your world, sir?
Well, one thing I'm doing for the month of December, I saw Brian Nowicki, Wick Goes Carnivore. I don't know if you guys know him. He and then Greg Wendell that does my low carb low carb weight loss, I think it is. Well, they're talking about doing a push-up challenge. So I decided beginning of the month to see how many push-ups I could do in the month of December. And I'm happy to say this morning I did my 1,000th push-up so far. I'm trying to do 3,000 this month. Wow. And I did 100 this morning. So that gives me, actually, I've done 1,010 since December 1st. So we're working on push-ups, putting some content out about that, trying to show some of what I'm doing. And it gets kind of boring. So I've tried, putting my hands further apart, putting my feet up in a chair, different variations of push-ups, and going to try to get 3,000 in by the end of the month. And it looks like it's actually going to be relatively easy. So that's what I'm doing some push-ups, trying to stay, it's cold, especially up here. So I was in my hotel room this morning doing push-ups. So just trying to find ways to stay active and keep the muscles engaged. I don't want to be outside when it's freezing or in the snow or whatever. And trying to think, what can I do in the truck or in a hotel room or whatever to continue to keep moving and, maintain the eating way as well.
Cool stuff. If you guys haven't checked out his channel, he's got videos. He's holding himself accountable. You can watch him do his push-ups. He is definitely rocking it out. I watched a video the other day where he was rocking out the. What were you doing at every so many minutes? I forget what it was.
Yeah, I did 20 and then rested 5 minutes. Did 20, rested 5 minutes. So I got 100 push-ups in 25 minutes.
Cool stuff. Absolutely.
And keep in mind,
All right.
I'll be 57 in March, so I'm not a spring chicken anymore.
Yeah. And how much weight have you lost?
From my very heaviest way back, I've lost 100 pounds. But when I started the carnivore, I was at 290. I'm now at 230, so 60 pounds.
Yeah, okay. Well, let's just say at 290. How many push-ups were you doing at 290?
0. I could do
Yeah.
one. I might could get one.
Yeah, it's because you fell down and had to push yourself back off the floor. But you know,
Exactly.
right.
I was reaching for a
You weren't
cookie.
doing it on purpose.
In there.
True.
Yeah, yeah, me either. And I haven't attempted to do push-ups, but I imagine I probably could. And maybe I don't know. You guys are kind of inspiring me, but push-ups have never been my thing, so we'll know. We'll see. Maybe we'll talk about it.
It's an indoor activity.
Yeah, I suppose you could do it indoor or outdoor. You know, as long as you're producing enough energy, you won't get cold out there. Brent, what's going on in your world? How's the meat locker? What do you got going on? What's on your mind?
Well, I'm working on scheduling some meat locker interviews. I'm going to be on some channels. I'm going to be on Kat's channel here in a couple of days, and just I'm going to have Christy from Meeting Wellness. I'm going to be on hers, and then I'm probably going to schedule a time where she could be on mine. Probably going to start setting up some dates for January and February. Just kind of get on the other side of the holidays. And this is kind of my busy time for work. You know, I run 2 small businesses, and, you know, I'm a dad, and, you know, a husband, and, you know, family and businesses and YouTube. And yeah, it's a lot. And that's kind of why it's slowed down a little bit on my YouTube stuff. But I'm pretty excited about doing the Meat Locker Lives. And I think that's what I'm going to call it, Meat Locker Live. So it should be a lot of fun.
Well, count me in. Let me know when you want to do one. We'll get it on the calendar.
This guy's channel and this guy's channel here. So encourage everybody in the chat to make sure you're sub to everybody here. It'd be awesome.
Post the links to your guys' channel. Somebody asked here. I saw. Here it is. It said, I need the links to the other 3 people on the panel. I have a sub to Carnivore Backwoods, John and Brett, Hoosier Carnivore. So you guys throw out your comments, and then I'll copy and paste them so they're on mine. And if everybody can copy and paste, it'll put them on all of our channels. All right, and we got a question here real quick. Anyone seen a different body composition with fasting? I think probably the biggest person here fasting would be Brett. So why don't you start with that?
So yeah, I always, every time I do an extended fast, I notice a body composition change. It's like just everything in my body just shrinks in just a little bit more. So depending on how long you fast, I mean, if you do 48, you're probably not going to notice too much of a difference. You know, maybe a little bit in the way your shirts fit, or, you know, way your jeans fit. But if you do a 5-day fast, yeah, you'll definitely notice. You might even go down a whole pant size. At least that's the way it is with me. I mean, everybody's different, but every time I do an extended fast, and that's kind of the way I've been losing most of my weight on carnivore. Now, I've talked about this before. I'll do a fast. I'll lose, you know, 8 or 9 pounds, and then I'll do carnivore and just maintain that. With a little fluctuation up and down. And then I'll go a couple months and I'll do another fast and lose a little, and then just maintain it. So that's kind of the way I've been able to lose weight on this way of eating. But yeah, fasting's great. It's not for everyone, and you have to work your way up to it. You know, fasting's like a muscle. You know, you got to start small and work your way up to it. And just go with how you feel. But January 1st on my channel, I'm going to do a 9-day fasting challenge. So if anybody wants to get in on that, you know, we'll do a video, maybe get channels together and a live and talk about a fasting challenge. If you don't want to do 9 days, it's fine too. But, I think it'd be a good time to start to do one. first of the year.
I've done 48 hours. I've not tried to go past that. I'm thinking about doing a 3-day, but I'm
Really,
normally ready to eat by the end of 48 hours. So
once you get over the 48 hump to 72, it's easy going after that. The 48 is the hardest part. You're kind of quitting at the apex of the difficulty. At least
true.
for me.
Yeah, no, you're probably right. So my thing is me and the wife fast together at the same time, and she likes fasting while she's working, and I like fasting while I'm off. So she wants to go to work and keep her mind, on work so that she's not worried about, eating. And I like to be off because when I'm at work, that's normally when I'm thinking about, I'm passing a restaurant because I'm out on the road, right? So this weekend works out because this is the weekend she works and I'm off, and so right now we're in a fast. And I normally, go back to eating at the same time she does, but I may push out past it and go an extra day or two and see how that goes. But I haven't decided yet. All right. So Susan says she's subscribed to everybody's channels now. Yeah. She said, okay, good, Susan. I realized I forgot to cat and was about to post it for you. So anyways, if you guys haven't subscribed to the channels, give them a subscribe. If you got any final questions, we're going on an hour. We're not in a hot conversation here. I try not to, I used to do these for 2 hours, but I've been holding them to about an hour and a half. But anything over an hour is good for me. So if you guys got anything else that you guys want to talk about, we're good to go here. I got one more question popped in here. Do cravings come back after fasting? That's the only I get cravings / the munchies. What's your thoughts, Brett?
I find that my cravings go away. And now when I'm ready to eat, I'm ready to eat. So you do have to keep some level of self-control when you refeed. Some people just get, very, very hungry and they overeat. And that's, you don't want to do that. You want to just kind of ease back into it. So if you're planning to do a fast, then also plan your refeed as well. So, have some bone broth ready. Make some bone broth beforehand. If you do a fast, probably more than 72 hours, you don't have to do a refeeding protocol, but I would recommend it just because you don't want to have any kind of issues. Have some bone broth, and then like in another hour, have some scrambled eggs. And then, later on, have a regular meal that you would normally eat. So when you fast, you just want to go right back into after your little refeed procedure, go right back into your normal eating. Some people may be tempted to overeat, but I find that fasting kind of fixes my cravings. So
I agree. I'm on, I don't know, about 36 hours into my fast. I haven't had I'm not even been hungry. I didn't have any cravings last night, which was unusual. Normally when I fast, normally by the time I normally eat, my body's like, hey, are you going to eat? But I've carried through perfectly fine. And honestly, I'm not even looking at eating right now. And, I did pull something out for dinner tonight because the wife would kick my butt if I didn't. But, I'm not looking to eat. John, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I think about 72 hours is the longest I've fasted. I think I did maybe 4 days one time when I was trying to lose that weight several years ago. I don't know. I was watching Coach Bronson, which he was on. Didn't he come on like 2-3 weeks ago? Coach Bronson.
Yeah.
He is not a fan of fasting at all. And I watched the video, and I get the benefits of fasting for the autophagy and for the cellular, cleansing. But I don't know. Here lately, I've plateaued. We talked about our weight earlier. I've been at between 230 and 234 for about 6 weeks, and I am markedly hungrier now than I was. And I'm just at the point right now where if I'm hungry, I'm going to eat. And I've been eating a half a pound of bacon and about 10 eggs for breakfast every day. And then I have either a pound of hamburger meat or a couple of steaks for lunch. So I I don't know. I've done fasting. I do enjoy it. It's nice to know that you can do that. But here lately, I'm just ravenously hungry, and I'm not gaining any weight, but I'm probably more active, and I think I'm probably building muscle, which makes me a little more metabolically efficient, I think. But just
Sure.
not a big fan of fasting right now. Maybe when the weather gets warmer, maybe I'll throw a 72 in there and see how I feel. But for now, it would be tough to sleep if I didn't eat.
Cool. Cory, what's your thoughts on fasting?
Well, to be perfectly straightforward, I don't have a whole lot of experience with fasting.
That's
I
good.
have actually only done one fast on while we've been carnivore. That was at the end of a vacation. Went on vacation back in September and did not stick to plan. Came back and said, "All right, I got to get back on plan." So I did a 36-hour fast, ate nothing, and got right back to eating at home the way I'm used to, and no cravings, no problems with it. But yeah, I've heard different opinions on fasting, whether it can, have negative effects on your metabolism or positive. It could depend on the individual. So I haven't really tried going down that road quite yet.
I have Coach Bronson coming back on my channel this coming Wednesday for an interview, and I'm sure there'll be a conversation that we'll have because I do. He is an avid against fasting, but on the other side of it, if you think about it, fasting's been around for thousands of years. It's been talked about for thousands of years. It's been talked about by lots of different people in different cultures and society, and it's kind of a natural thing. I mean, when you didn't have a refrigerator and you didn't have a grocery store to go to, you killed your game or you killed your livestock, and you had food. And when the food ran out, you were in a forced fast until you had more food. And so, fasting is not, I don't think is a bad thing, but I don't think I think you can overdo it. And Carnivore Wellness, she actually overdid fasting and caused her a bunch of health problems. So you gotta be careful with it. Kat, what's your thoughts?
Well, except for when I was sick and didn't want to eat, I don't intentionally fast. I'd like to do what I call intuitive fasting, I guess you call it. And I just eat when I'm hungry. Now, up until just recently, I would go a whole day. Sometimes I'd be out running or working all day and realize that 4 or 5 that I haven't eaten anything all day, subsided merely on coffee. And but I was never hungry. I never had a drop in energy or anything like that. So I was going all day without eating, but I don't do it intentionally. I have also had it where I realized as I was going to bed that I never ate that whole day. And then, it's 10:30 at night. I'm not going to go eat. So then I don't eat again until the next day. But again, never intentionally, always just because I wasn't hungry. Coincidentally, though, recently, I wasn't losing any weight since before Thanksgiving. Recently, I, for some reason, started being hungry in the morning, kind of like John, where I'm trying to eat eggs and bacon, and then I have another meal later on. Don't know why, just hungry, not gaining any weight. I actually dropped almost 2 pounds. So I don't know. I just listen to my body. I just eat when I'm hungry, and I don't when I'm not. And so far, it hasn't affected anything. I'm not gaining any weight. I'm still losing. It's just slow. But that's okay, because I didn't start this to lose weight anyways.
Absolutely. And I would also add in there that I would not fast unless you've been on the diet and you're fat adaptive and you've been doing this for a few months. I wouldn't do it in the beginning. Some people try to do the fasting in the beginning, and you're still trying to come off your sugar high and your cravings, and it'll cause you all kinds of issues. And I once your body adapts and it starts burning fat, then you get a more steady flow of energy. Fasting is much easier. If you try to do it when you're still addicted to sugar, you will struggle with just try to get a few hours without eating versus trying to get a few days.
And then you're going to go eat that whole bag of Hershey's Kisses because that's
Binge.
James says he's a big fan. Thank you for sharing your journey, Kat.
Absolutely.
And then I only fast after supper until about 1 p.m. the next day. Intermittent fasting, doing this for 5 years now. Yeah,
Yeah.
1 meal a day is a form of fasting. Skipping a day and doing 48 is a form of fasting. And then you get hardcore when you start pushing it out to 72 or beyond. But yeah, there's definite benefits. I feel the difference after fasting for just 48 hours. And I only do it every other week or so. I'll do a 48-hour fast. Most of the time I'm doing 1 meal a day. But like everybody else has said here, I've had, a craving to eat. And so I've been eating a couple meals a day here for the last several weeks. It just depends on what the body wants is what I'm going to give it.
And I wonder if
All
that's
right,
related
guys.
to wintertime. All of us seem like we're eating more. Cat, you, myself. I'm eating more than I was. I wonder if that's to get back to the very beginning topic, because it's wintertime and we're instinctively putting in more calories, more nutrition.
I bet
Absolutely.
for sure.
All right, guys. I appreciate all you guys and your time. We've been going for an hour. I'm going to go around here for final thoughts, and then we're going to close this down for the week. Next weekend, I got Dr. Lisa Wiedemann on the Carnivore Roundtable. So make sure you guys check in for that, because we're going to have the doctor in the house, and we're going to be having some good conversations. I'm looking forward to that. Also got Anna, who's JT from Poco Moonshine's wife, is going to be on the live with us. So that's pretty cool too. So looking forward to it. John, you're going to be there, and it's good. Yeah, trying to think of who's all going to be there. But anyways, it's going to be a good conversation, and I'm looking forward to it. So definitely check that out. I'm also interviewing Coach Bronson Wednesday, and I think I'm interviewing Aaliyah Wells on Thursday. So I got a couple live videos coming out this week. And then I got Meeting Wellness. I think we pushed it back to the end of the month. We're going to do a live together. And if I haven't had you one-on-one on my channel, reach out to me and let's talk about it. If you got a channel going out there and we haven't done a one-on-one live yet, let's get together and plan something. All right, let's start from the bottom and work up, so I'm not picking on people. Brent, final thoughts, sir.
Well, just wrapping up the end of the year. I recently had 2 extended family members pass away in the last week. So, with Christmas and everything coming up, if there's anybody in your family you haven't talked to in a while, reach out. This is a great time of year to try to reconnect with family or friends or whoever. We're only here for so long, and try to make those connections with people. It's important.
Absolutely. All right, John, what's your final thoughts?
Final thoughts as we prepare to wind down 2023. I'm just very thankful that I found, first and foremost, the carnivore way of eating, but maybe even more importantly, the carnivore community. I've been welcomed into this community, and it's been, I'm like I say, almost 57, and I've never experienced this much of a welcome and feeling part of a family so quickly. And it's just been awesome. 2023 was life-changing for me, going from very, very sick to what I consider very healthy. My God, I did 100 push-ups before 7 o'clock this morning. So just really glad for 2023, what all it's brought me, the people that have come into my life that I would never have met outside of this way of eating. And really, really looking forward to 2024, getting started again, and hopefully can make more friends in the carnivore community.
Absolutely. Cory, final thoughts, sir?
I've got to echo John's thoughts. This community is absolutely amazing. For a tiny little channel like us, we have had so many people reach out with comments. It's grown faster than I ever thought. We just kind of threw up our story on a whim, thinking that we just let people know what we've been through, and the community is really what lit a fire under us to do more and to share our story and share our daily struggles, to try to keep people energized and motivated and moving forward and continuing along this path. And so it's all those viewers that really mean the world to us, that leave nice comments or ask questions. And so as we close out this year, let's keep moving forward.
Absolutely.
Eat your meat.
All right. Kat, final thoughts?
I'm just gonna mirror everything everybody has been saying already. I am so grateful. I was so sick. I was so miserable, and I literally wanted to die. So I am so grateful for finding the carnivore way of life, especially from being a vegan. And all of you guys and everybody that I've met in the carnivore community, they just welcome you with open arms. They support you. You have a question, they help you. They're just literally an amazing bunch of people. And I just thank the Lord every single day that He led me to this path. And I'm really grateful for the holidays coming up. And I'm just so very aware of how important it is to spend the time with my family, and how nice it is to no longer be so food centric and worried about everything being around food, and how I can focus on the things that really, really matter. And I just feel like the carnivore lifestyle has brought me here, and this reduced anxiety and stress and everything. And to all of you, I appreciate you more than you know. I've reached out to John numerous times, and he helps me. And Brent, you were so willing to come on my channel. And yeah, just you guys are all amazing, and everybody out there that's so supportive of us. So give yourself grace through this holiday season. If you fall off, what does Larry always say? If you fall off the horse, jump back on, and just keep on keeping on.
Outstanding. We got one question here. I figure I'll jump in here real quick and answer this before we close out. So, do any of you take Metamucil? No. Nope. We all in agreement? No.
Better.
I don't go to the bathroom at all as it is. If you're pooping it out, you don't need it.
So, here's the thing about fiber. What goes in is what comes out. There's no processing. Your body can't consume it. You eat it. It comes out the other end exactly like it went in. So that's why you have big, massive bowel movements when you're using Metamucil. You don't need it on this diet. Most of us who've been on this diet for any period of time, we have the bowel movement once every other day or two. It's small. There's not a lot of waste. And that's just the way it is. It's hard to wrap your mind around it. And you start thinking, people start thinking, oh my God, I'm constipated. I can't poop. But really what it is, there's nothing to poop. Your body will consume the meat. It will consume the fat. Unless you're overeating, then you'll start getting that out as the runs, if you're getting too much fat or something in your diet. But for the most part, you're going to consume and utilize 99% of what you're eating. So your bowel movements will be small. We've all faced it. We've all had these conversations. It seems to be a common thread amongst all our channels. We all have our poop conversations. So with that, no, none of us are doing Metamucil. If you actually go back and look at the study, and I encourage you to go do your own research, the study on fiber says this. It says that people who consumed a high fiber diet, had, and also, let me back that up, people who had, cancer or prostate cancer, colon cancer, and consumed a high fiber diet had less mortality. That's what the study actually says. That was the conclusions of the study. Nothing in that study actually, came out and indicated that by consuming large amounts of fiber was any way healthy for your colon. It didn't indicate that anything was that made your life longer. It didn't do any of this stuff. You can go back and look at the study yourself and read it. I encourage you to. I'm not a doctor. I'm not the guy that did the study. I'm just telling you what I read. So, fiber has been something that's come about in the last 20, 30 years where they're telling people they have to eat all this fiber. No, none of us are doing it, and none of us are having issues in that department. I've never talked to anybody that needed to. Anybody else want to chime in before I close this down?
I did take Metamucil, I think 3 or 4 weeks in, because I'd been 2 or 3 days without a bowel movement, and I was concerned. But I watched one of you guys' channels, one of the channels out there, and I realized that's what life is going to look like going forward. And now, John, to your point, maybe every other day, every third day, it's very minimal. I use very little toilet paper. and because my body's absorbing everything.
More savings, more money saved, less
Yeah.
doctor
Yeah.
appointments, less garbage, less toilet paper. There's so many ways you save money on this diet. You start to add it all up, it'll blow your mind.
The commercial
So-
industries basically put this picture in people's minds that consuming fiber is like having some type of brush or something that's going
Clean
to
out your
clean you
colon.
out and
Gonna
nutrient-
scrub your colon clean.
right, and it's just not true.
Just
So
this bristle brush going through your colon. It's just scrubbing it clean.
right,
Car
yeah,
wash.
Well,
yeah, it's not. So
I'll say this. Well,
beef,
that
I'm sorry, beef is the most nutritious food, so your body absorbs almost all of it. So when you eat that steak, there's not going to be much coming out the other end. So, I've told my wife, I said I could buy, if I lived by myself, I could buy a 12-pack of toilet paper and it would last me an entire year. I would use probably one roll in 1 month because, I go like every 3 days.
Yeah, me too.
And it's like a 1 or 2 wipe easy cleanup, deal. So, yeah. And all I can say is if you have your doubts, just give it a try. Give it a try.
I will say this, and we'll get to Cory. He wants to talk here, but
Corey's dying to
If
talk
you-
about
if-
food.
yeah, we've all got excited talking about poop. But the big thing is if you are constipated, magnesium will help you get
Fat
moving.
too, though.
Fat will help you get moving. Magnesium will help you get moving. That only happens right in the beginning of the diet. Normally, once you're fat adaptive and in your body's transition, you won't have those issues anymore. So I have seen people who got a little backed up within the first few weeks of being on the diet, but normally once you get going, it's good for you. Cory, you were going to say, sir?
Yeah, I was going to say what fiber actually does is it irritates your intestinal lining. It irritates it to the point where it produces mucus, which helps things slide through. Along with that, I've seen every vegetable under the sun in the toilet. I've never seen a chunk of steak.
True.
Nope. We've all been there with corn. So, yep.
Yeah.
All right. I'm looking through here real quick. We've delved off into the poop subject probably long enough. I think everybody can agree that we're not eating or consuming Metamucil or any type of fiber in our diet. Yeah. Roto-Rooter. Yeah. So anyways, guys, we appreciate you. Check out next Sunday's live stream, Carnivore Roundtable. Going to have Dr. Weedman on here. Looking forward to it. It should be a good one. And, I appreciate you guys, and we'll catch you on the next one.